prepared we are all the time.
This is only
And
the
we
one
are
time.
live on YouTube, the Villains Talk Show.
No, it's not.
Something like that.
We're not the villains.
Do, do, do.
We're the heroes of our own stories.
No, we're not. Don't be ridiculous. In what world is Dee and Maurice and Taven and
He is definitely a hero of his own
heroes
story.
of anything?
Well, okay. I wasn't talking about me, but Taven, maybe. That's different.
Hello and
Yeah,
welcome to the
everyone's
Villains
the hero
Talk
of their
Show
own
and
story.
podcast.
That's not
They really
true.
aren't.
I am one of your hosts, C4. And beside me is Sarah Vike.
Oh, we're talking about
Below
collectibles and
me
alternative
is the
versions.
Great Grease Goblin. This on the far side is Insaniac, and then Sir Jeremy. Oh my god, all the name cards work. Yay. If you're on
Yeah,
YouTube,
except
there is
for,
no name cards. I'm
That
sorry.
bottom one.
Well,
Wait,
We're not
actually,
talking
though,
about
what are we
collectibles
talking
and
eventually,
about?
maybe
alternative
we'll
versions.
figure out and post edit.
Wait, what?
You might want to fix that.
What?
Oh, more new
On
things.
this.
Oh, we're talking
stream,
about
it
that?
says-
I thought we were going to
Oh
do
my
that
god,
next
it
week.
changed. It didn't work. No.
I don't know what's going on right now.
It's okay.
Wait, we're talking about
Okay, there's-
video
Oh,
game
I
collectibles,
see,
right?
I see.
Video games and achievements.
Oh
That
my
was
god.
Because
one
we're
on
supposed to be
fun.
talking about that on our special on our Christmas special.
I'm so bad. Today's topic.
I know.
I don't know what are we talking about today, C4? You tell
What
us.
are we talking about today? Today we are talking about something fun, as I change it, because it is the true meaning of Christmas.
I thought we were doing that for our Christmas special on Saturday.
No, on Saturday we're talking about villains.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Christmas villains.
Man, guys, we're so good.
prepared.
we
We're
are.
so good.
I was prepared, and then I
I
wasn't.
thought we were going to do this. I suggested this for next week. I didn't
Yeah, I
suggest
thought this
it
was for
today.
I thought this was for next week or Saturday.
I don't think I'll be able to do a show next week. I'm gonna be busy with trying to film my movie, so figure we do the show on Saturday, and I'll post that on Wednesday, and then everything will be golden. That being
Maybe we
said,
should tell people
hello and
about
welcome to the Villains Talk Show
Which one?
podcast.
Show.
Today is the true meaning of Christmas.
So true. The truest of meanings.
We are villains, so
Big meaning of Christmas though.
I will go out and say that the reason I wanted to talk about this when it was brought up because the true meaning of Christmas to a Jew who is also had to celebrate Christmas his entire life because everyone else did. True meaning of Christmas to me is just don't get excluded. Like
Or learn to have fun on your own way.
Fair.
like there was once every 5 years that like it's about every 5 years that Hanukkah happens around Christmas, so I don't have to really fake it. But like, man, like I know it's an overly beaten drum, but being a Jew at Christmas is ridiculous. Like it's why I worked Christmas for like the last 5 years.
Fair enough.
That makes
Good time to
sense.
get paid, right? You get holiday pay, time and a half. It's not even your holiday.
Just to throw that out there, even though my family is Jewish and we shouldn't celebrate Christmas, what made it more confusing as a kid is for a while until me and my sisters like actually like grew up and were in like late teens, we celebrated Christmas.
That does make things a little awkward.
Yeah,
Just a
it
little bit.
really did.
Guys, we're gonna switch up gears a
That
little
would
bit
make
here.
it confusing for sure.
So
Yeah, I understand. That's a little awkward.
and I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say the true meaning of Christmas is buying gifts because I do like giving gifts for people, but it from yeah.
Well, that's supposed to be the meaning of
Capitalism.
Christmas, right? It's not supposed to be really getting stuff. It's supposed to be giving something and watching someone appreciate something that they received, even if they don't know it's from you or something that's somebody else.
And that's true, but Black Friday was
Ruins that.
essentially Black Friday was like the fungus that developed from
Yeah.
the Christmas buying.
It
I mean,
absolutely did.
that's what it means. Going to
But-
the
well,
black.
because
in a
that's because
company
back then
means-
it wasn't exactly like you're supposed to. You're supposed to make your own things and buy stuff. It wasn't exactly supposed to be like an excuse to capitalism like it has become.
An excuse to capitalism. But
Yeah.
That's
So
exactly what it
obviously,
is.
like growing up Christian, we were always bombarded with like don't forget the true meaning for the real reason for the season, and Jesus is the
Saturnalia.
real reason, and don't forget Jesus. Don't take
And
Christ
that
out
you
of
will.
Christmas.
But
And then I
Christ
got a
was
little older and I looked into things and I was like, wait a second. It's no, like, what's the purpose of the tree? It has nothing to do with Jesus?
Has nothing.
Nazis.
Yeah.
As a Jew, I will
Yeah.
say that every day.
Yeah.
What do I see
pretty
when I see
sure-
Christmas trees? Nice little Nazi ornaments everywhere, and everyone's like, fascism is bad, Nazis are
trying to go
evil.
back.
Oh yeah? I see Christmas trees everywhere, and they were invented by the fucking Nazis.
I'm pretty sure they were. I'm pretty sure they were invented by Romans to celebrate the god Saturn. The
Nope, that is a
Saturnalia
different
tree.
thing.
No, that is a different thing.
Saturnalia
Saturnalia
tree.
has nothing to do with trees.
Well, that's
Yep.
a Saturnalia tree, is it not?
No.
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 It's a pole, isn't it?
It's a Tannenbaum. It is a
Yep.
100% German creation. Tannenbaum.
Say Christmas is an abomination nowadays of whatever it was.
Christmas was always an abomination. It was a stolen
Yeah, it
holiday by the Roman when Constantine took
Exactly.
over the Roman
See,
Church
I feel like
as
I
a
feel
way
like the
to
Roman
marry
part there.
ancient Roman beliefs as well as Christian. He took the birth date of Saturn, which was their god, and they melded it and said that's the birthplace of Jesus. And instead of the 21st, they moved it to the 25th.
Yeah,
Yep.
'cause it's all shoved right in there with the winter solstice.
Wasn't Jesus supposed
Yeah,
to
well,
be
because
born
that
in
was
March?
trying to work with like. a
No,
lot of
Jesus
different-
was born
during
during
time.
the spring.
I've heard
spring
September. It doesn't matter though. Like, it's
kinda-
one of
yeah.
365 days.
The birthday
Or-
isn't really that
365
important, to
or
be honest.
366.
If anything,
Yeah,
the one thing
exactly.
in the Bible
Also
it
have to
teaches
keep in
more so
mind
that the
before we
rebirth
only
is
had
probably the most
11
important.
months, I think it was 11 or 13 months.
13.
Sorry, what were you
and
saying
then
in
one-
Saniac? Kind of got drowned out.
Was- I don't know if I'm saying this with a firm belief of anything or knowledge of it, but I'm just saying I thought that if anything, the one day that was kind of more important was his rebirth of anything, not really his actual birth.
Oh yeah, like the resurrection, Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much more
That's-
important.
yeah.
Doesn't really matter what day Jesus was born.
No,
But-
it's
Everyone's-
more important because there are eggs and giant rabbit that breaks into your
There
house.
is no
Yeah.
awesome Easter carols. Name me an Easter carol.
I can't even that phrase
There-
alone is
I
foreign.
can name
I don't
some,
even I
but
can't
you know
even
what?
think I can't even think of one
Do
because
you
I
know
didn't
what
even know
Easter
that was a
carols are
thing.
called? They're called
I didn't-
requiems.
The fact that
Oh, yeah.
there's a thing called an Easter carol is
They're
new
they're
to me.
they're not. They're called
there is-
requiems.
Either way,
Because a
He's just
requiem,
confusing you.
I
because
understand
a
what you're saying.
requiem is about
I
the
know what
death.
a requiem is.
And it's either you do the death of the earth during the Mozart's Requiem, which is about the earth exploding, or you do Vivaldi's Requiem, which is about the death of Jesus and then the earth exploding. But that's what you call Easter carol, is a requiem. And I may be Jewish, but I will never ever say anything bad about Christmas carols. Fuck, our Christmas carols amazing, and I hate it.
Yeah.
There's no the
Carol.
only song I get in this time of year is dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made you out of clay, and when you're dry and ready with dreidel,
Yeah.
I shall play.
I only think of that one whenever I think of South Park because I'm not
That
Jewish.
makes me so. I mean, it's
sorry.
awesome, but at the same time,
I'm sorry, but yeah.
there's another song by Adam Sandler that I can't sing because of
Oh,
copyright issues.
yeah, that's the
Eight Crazy
the
Nights.
Hanukkah. Yeah, Eight
Yeah,
Crazy Nights.
Eight
It's
Cra-
not. It's the movie it's from. The song isn't it called that. It's like something. It's like Chanukah or something or like that.
Yeah.
And he's like,
That
nah,
wasn't-
it's a lot of jokes. It's like a Weird Al parody of Hanukkah song.
And then the only other Jewish thing we ever got at Christmas time was Rugrats, because Tommy was Jewish.
Yeah,
Oh,
And I
Rugrats
got
was
to
great.
see an animated version of the Maccabees
got to see-
taking
yeah, that was
back
super
the
cool.
temple.
That was really
That
cool.
sounds fantastic.
It was actually really good.
was.
I
can't
really
say
liked that
anything
too
bad
as a
about
kid.
it.
I didn't even know anything about it, and I really enjoyed like the whole thing. The only
So-
thing I had in context wise of that was watching the movie The Prince of Egypt from DreamWorks or whatever.
But that's
Not the
like
Maccabees.
that's
That's yeah.
Yeah,
Passover.
not the same thing. No, I know
That's-
that's not the same
Yeah.
thing. But that was the
mean-
only context I had into what that related to.
Quick
That's what I'm
question.
saying.
Quick question to the table. I think Jeremy and Sarah. Well, Jeremy knows this story, but to the other three, what is the true story of Hanukkah?
It has to do with a lamp and oil, doesn't it?
Let's say this is definitely gonna pull from my Regrets roots.
That's
I
about
honestly am going to
all
say
that
because
I
that's
know.
about all I
Yeah,
know
that's
is
all
from
I
Something
know.
about a
Regrets 2.
lamp
It's
that
about,
burned for 8 days.
or I remember
Spoilers.
it's a point during. I think it was like a great moment of hardship during for the Jewish people. I don't remember the time when it was, but it was to celebrate a point of having little to nothing and celebrating what you did have, which was the light and the fire and the candles
You're
with your
so
family.
close. You're so close. So to summarize it, for anyone out there who's listening doesn't know what Hanukkah is about the festival of lights, and what that means is thousands of years ago when the Romans took over Israel, they basically subjugated us, and so a terrorist cell, that's just, I'm not even lying, it's a terrorist cell called the Maccabees, which were Jews, existed in Rome. And this terrorist cell grew so big that they were able to drive out the Romans. And the Romans, as the last thing they did, is they sacked the Jewish temple. And there was only enough oil to burn for one night, and it takes 8 days to make oil, so that so that the lights in the temple could keep burning. And then the lights didn't go out for 8 days, and that's the miracle of Hanukkah. Is we drove out the Romans and we kept
Your
the
temple
lights in the
burned for-
temple burning. That's pretty much it. It's a super simple story.
Yeah.
I appreciate it a little bit more than what I was expecting. I
It's-
honestly expected a lot harsher.
It's a
of
lot
what-
simpler than there was 3 wise men and an angel
I hate that story so much. I hate
and
that story
told them
so much.
to go east and
No, there were
follow
no angels.
yonder star.
There were no angels involved with the wise men.
And
Just
that's not true, actually. That's how
According
they
to
knew
the
to
Gospel
go.
of Matthew- According to
got-
the Gospels of Matthew and Luke, it is.
They were told by an angel.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, there's Virgin Mary standing there. And then Michael appears and says, you shall be the vessel for God. He shall be made flesh within you.
Yeah.
And then she went to her husband and just,
Her fiance.
somehow, by the way, Joseph in the story, the guy who gets forgotten so much, if you think about that guy, he got cucked hard. Like, he
Just
got
a little bit, yeah.
and even worse, he had to raise the child.
Our viewers is
he
wondering
got cucked so
the
hard.
flair for the dramatic.
Oh my god.
They did have more kids though, right?
I-
Like
I want to almost write a nativity story from the position of Joseph, as if he's just like, and he's like, yeah, she got laid by God, and like looks at them like, oh my god, really? And he's just like looking around like, what the fuck?
okay, John.
No, sorry, I'm not
God.
done the story. They then, when she got pregnant, she then went to the inn, but they said, oh no, we can't have you. And then went to another inn and they said, oh no, we can't have you. And then once she went to the manger, this blessed manger that's still in Bethlehem, by the way, I've seen it. A star was born in the sky, and wise men came and brought gifts as angels sang. Like, the fuck? Like,
You claim that there are angels involved in the story of the Magi. I read it this morning like 40 times because a kid was trying to claim that he knew precisely that the Magi came 13 days after Jesus was born. Anyways, it goes like this. Matthew chapter 2. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea, during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem and asked, where is the one who's been born king of the Jews? We saw his star in the east and have come to worship him. That's it.
How did they know? Wait.
I don't know, man.
Which version? No. We're doing research on this.
Version, but
Sir Jeremy.
which one would you prefer?
Sir Jeremy.
Which one would you prefer?
Hold
Man,
on.
I feel like he's checked out just like
I
me,
just
my
want
goodness.
I want a third party to research this. Sir Jeremy, I need
Which
you to research.
one would you prefer? Pick a version.
I want you to
The
tell
third
me
version.
who told the wise men about yonder star. That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know.
King James version. Where is he that is born king of the Jews? For we've seen a star in the east and are come to worship him. English Standard Version.
Yeah, but
Uh,
where did they think of that?
we saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him.
Insaniac
I don't know,
looks
man. It
so
doesn't say.
dejected from the conversation.
I'm scrolling through Facebook. I feel like I'm like a part of our demographic who's probably checked out at this point.
I'm trying to look it up, but I also don't care enough to look it up. I'll let you two fight this out.
Apparently,
Yeah,
it was
that's-
King Herod the Magi.
King Herod?
King Herod the Magi.
King Herod one of Judea by announcing Jesus' birth. He is a Jerusalem-born Magi.
Magi went and talked to King Herod.
I know who King Herod is. That's interesting. I did not know that. I will secede that.
Thank you.
My point, though, being,
That's Matthew 2:2.
Yeah.
I mean,
Important.
when you talk to a child who you know is lying, the way you know they're lying is not because they say this is how it happened. It's because of the entire story that leads up to how it happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I will secede that in the end, 2,000 years later, I do like the lights at night.
Okay.
I do
That's
like
fair.
Christmas. I do like Christmas lights.
Christmas lights are pretty great. I'm glad you like them. You're gonna see a whole lot of them in a few days.
Anyway, with that rant over, let's turn the cross of Flora to the person who's not paying attention at all. Insaniac.
That's my name.
Tell us what you feel about the true meaning of the holiday.
I mean, for me, it's kind of, I guess, because I kind of grew up with families that my parents were Protestant, so I grew up with them, learning about Christmas and Santa Claus, and the belief in Santa Claus and all that. And then one day, my parents, you get older, you make mistakes. They forgot to put the stockings or whatever one night, and then they came in really late in the morning and woke up, caught them putting some stuff, and kind of figured it out from there. Began starting to question things. But then, like, as you get older, you start to understand what it's about, right? And as a kid, you thought it was more the mystery of getting these presents from nowhere, when really it was people who cared about you were going out of the way to give you stuff that you really didn't need, and honestly, it was just meant to make you happy. Even though a lot of it was just toys and garbage that really kind of irrelevant when you get to a certain age and you realize half that shit you probably don't have anymore that you got for Christmas. That you probably look back now, any of the things that you have had for Christmas, you probably don't have most of those things anymore. Maybe some of them, but probably not. I would take a wager of maybe 60%. At least that's for me. Of things that I don't have anymore from what I got for Christmas. And a lot I got toys and things, and I got stuffed animals. I don't have all of them. I think the last stuffed animal I got as a Christmas gift is right up there. And I got that one probably like 2 years ago. That is the only stuffed animal I have, and that was because it came from.
Really intriguing question. That I'm gonna let you keep going, but I'll just tell you what I'm.
That was kind of about my point.
Because you said, what you probably don't like. You got me thinking. What is the oldest Christmas anything I still have?
Right? If you think back on all your stuff that you have gotten from Christmas, you probably don't have a lot of the things you.
No, I'm gonna curtail this to only what I have, because my parents do have some stuff from when we were small children that they still use at Christmas, so that's not fair.
Yeah, decoration, but I mean like a gift that you had gotten.
I've still got all my Barbie dolls from when I was a kid. I got a lot of those for Christmas and birthdays.
Good.
I was to say a lot of families have the tradition for handing down the angel or the star from the top of the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
mom
aunt has our
sends
family,
me
as far as I remember.
Nice. Aw.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
what was that, Sir
some
Jeremy?
families have a tradition of passing down the angels of their tree that they hang on their tree down to another.
The tree topper.
Yeah, for their kids.
I mean, I know what you're talking about because I've seen it.
It's mostly an English thing.
My
That's
mom,
the English side of my family does a lot
my
of
mom
that.
too. My mom got her tree topper from her mom. And it's just an angel that.
It's either an angel or a star. I had an
Huh.
angel that my dad had, and my aunt has the star from my mom's side of the family.
That's an interesting idea.
I think
See if my grandma still has hers. Sure,
think
she
my
does.
grandma is like Christian. I'm not really sure, to be honest.
And some families, you can tell that their tree toppers are like expensive as fuck because they'll be like made of glass and shit.
My mom's is like this old
Yeah.
dusty ass like doll.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah. So, oh yeah, I got
it's
one of those
like
porcelain
a
glass
small.
dolls.
Yeah, it looks like it should be porcelain, but it's plastic, and it's just holding like a Christmas light in its hand, and it's just really awkward.
Yeah,
It's
it looks like the angel, the one I got. It's porcelain, same thing, holding a candle. I think it is, but it's like a
Oh.
little light that you can plug into the tree.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! I'm looking right
My
at
family
it.
never had a fancy one.
Hold on. I have the thing. I can even show you.
We actually, when I was a kid, we made one. My mom did a craft with us. We made an angel to go on top of our tree, but I don't know what
Cool.
happened to it.
I had made one kind of like that too. It was really ugly, like shitty paper star.
Oh, ours is actually really nice. My mom's super artistic.
Oh, I made it in school, and I just tried
All
it
right.
on one day.
I got this as a gift from my aunt when I was 3 years old.
Wow. I don't think I have any.
Oh, that's cute.
That's like a Christmas ornament, but
But I keep it. It's mine, and it's always been on. Just I hang it up everywhere.
I won't disagree
Does it
on
have your
that one.
name
Like
on it?
like I said,
It does
about
have my
60
name on it.
about 60%.
Nice.
I was
Hard to
saying,
see.
I have one
Can't really
of
see
those.
it with the light, yeah.
because I
Yeah.
have my
Actually,
mom
that's a good
sent
point.
me.
I'm pretty sure that I have one from the year I was born that
It's
someone made
made
for
Yeah.
me.
from really
Yeah,
shitty like plastic.
I have those too. My
But like,
Yeah.
I
my
still,
mom
for
sends
some
me
reason, I
Christmas
still have
ornaments
this.
and things. So like I for that one I don't that one makes sense. I understand that one completely. Like I was saying, about 60% of the stuff for me.
Oh
I have
yeah,
maybe
no,
40 to
60%'s a
30%.
good. Like thinking about it, you're right. Like I do have some small things that have survived over the years that I've had from when I'm really small.
Yeah. Right.
Here's an easy one. Here's another one that I just saw that I was looking for originally.
Honestly, if you could really pull out like a toy out of nowhere, like Sarah saying she has Barbies, like that's
Okay,
kind of
this is
that's
definitely not a
impressive.
toy.
Yeah.
But
For me, I wish I had video games.
you
But
want to talk about something that's 31 years old? It's just a rock
button.
with a painting on a lizard on it. My grandmother,
Aw.
when I was born, she gave me this rock, and it says "Long Life." And I've had it for
Couldn't see it on camera like
I've
that.
had this for 31 years.
That's cool.
My
Aw.
entire life.
It's not a Christmas present, but I have a teddy bear that my dad gave me when I was born, so same thing.
I honestly probably can't even think of the most recent gift or the longest gift I've held on to. I'd actually have to like look around and think because I don't
I
know. I have
that
like
teddy bear 'cause it was the
Well,
day I
I
was
have like
on
born.
that
an old,
on that
I have like an old like
subject,
Mine would
Witcher's
also be
watch.
a teddy bear.
My
Yeah,
mom got me
most
like
people probably.
a Witcher's
Yeah.
like pocket watch.
that's actually neat.
That
Can't,
is neat.
like,
Let's
I wish my
move
like
south to
Or
the
are we
greasy,
talking about pocket
greasy
watches
boy.
now?
Because
I
greasy
also have
boy.
a pocket watch.
yeah, mine's like
Oh.
a Witcher
That's
boy.
actually really nice. I'm actually
Mine's a
super
Fallout,
jealous.
or mine's a
It's pretty
Fallout one.
pretty sick. The Fallout one's pretty sick. I
Yeah,
don't.
it's
I'm not. I wasn't like.
1.1 or
I haven't
1.1.
played The Witcher yet, but I do like the pocket watch. It's cool. I like the
Pocket
wolf
watches are
aesthetic, so
sweet.
They are.
I like it, but I never have a moment that I want like I feel the need to use my pocket watch. I really want to use it though. Like I'm like, how many times do I'm like, man,
All the
So-
time. You can use it for whatever you
I want
want.
to use
Yeah,
this.
you can beat people with it.
I want to use
I,
this.
I
as
don't really like. I have a phone. I don't really.
Sorry, you finish.
Well, that was it. I'm like, I have a phone. I don't really
I
check
was
my
gonna
watch.
say, I want to use this as a bit of a segue because you gave me a great idea. What is like, of all the gifts you've gotten at Christmas? Because everyone's gotten gifts at Christmas. What was, hands down, the best gift? Not the gift you were most excited for, because you always get a Christmas gift that you're super excited for, like a new game system, and you play the fucking shit out of it, and that's great. I'm talking about what's like the most useful gift you've ever been given. Maybe something that you didn't realize until a couple years later, because I have this. I guess.
This year I asked
I guess
my
I'm gonna let
family-
everyone think about
don't
it.
think-
while
I don't think I've ever gotten like a useful gift
well, I mean,
per
like
se.
a gift you didn't realize you needed. That would be another way to put it. Something you
Feel
got,
like-
something you got given. You look at it and you're like, when would I ever use? And then as you like move on, you're like, holy shit, this thing is just amazing.
I can't think. I honestly, the only
Hold
time
on.
I can ever think of a gift that I really
Oh.
was like, I felt useful and enjoyed the most was a fucking my PlayStation 2. That was one gift that I thoroughly to this day regret selling. Like, I am so mad I got rid of my PS2. That was the best system ever.
They were really
But that's just
good.
because I grew up. That's just because I grew up with it. Honestly, Xbox was also super great too.
What about you, Sarah? You seem to have.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even thought about it, but it's what I'm wearing. It may not be the most useful thing, but it certainly was like the most unexpected thing that I still use on a regular basis. It's just like a shawl, and my parents gave it to me for Christmas when I was probably
That's awesome.
13, and I
Yeah,
still have it
That's sick.
and
That's
wear
pretty
it all
cool.
the time.
it's just some random thing you never thought you would get, and it's super useful.
It is.
Yeah.
It's super warm and cozy, and I love it.
Um, for me,
No,
I
I
mean,
wasn't. I was younger than that
I mean,
when I got it.
I think I've shown some of my metal jackets on the stream. The black one and
Actually,
the brown one for sure.
Actually, I do remember, just on a side note, my oldest gift, because it's been hanging up here. As a kid, my grandmother gave me this guy. I've held on to this for the longest time.
That's cute.
The first time I went to Montreal to visit my family on my dad's side. Apparently, and I didn't know this. Apparently, every kid in my grandma's family, and it's pretty big the amount of kids. My grandma had 7 kids, and they all have had kids, except for one. And every of the grandkids have asked for this thing. And I was the youngest one, and my grandma gave it to me. It was the first time that my
Oh,
dad came home, and I was with him. She got to meet me for the first time.
Oh, and it's
And
Garfield
I
with
have never
skis.
and Garfield was the reason I asked for it because I loved Garfield at the time. I love his comics. I still have old Garfield comics to this day that I loved reading. So for me, this was like my favorite character as a kid. And I was like, that's amazing. Like he's super cool. And like, could I have it? And she's like, yeah, I guess. Like, I never got rid of it. It wasn't really like a Christmas gift, but it was when I went to see my family for Christmas, and I asked my grandma
That
for it.
counts.
I would say it's a Christmas gift
That
in my mind,
counts.
That counts as a Christmas gift.
but
Yeah.
I was gonna
it was
say
the one I've held on to the longest.
my gift. I have had this since I was 13, so close to 15 years. This is my winter jacket. It is a leather duster, and it's lined, and it is Danier Leather, which is a nice leather company. I put on that patch in the
Pretty
back
nice, yeah.
myself, and this thing has saved my life many times. It is a blanket when I needed it. I won't say why. It has been a bed. It has it. This thing is this thing has been through hell and back, but because it's such a nice jacket, it's just survived. And I've had it
That's
since
fun.
I was 13, and it was technically my first patch jacket because I put that on the back.
That's sick.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool patch.
that's from a Skeleton Witch album,
Nice.
and I've had every winter. I'm always excited because I get to bring out my winter jacket, and I've had it, and it was one of those gifts I got at 13. Like at the time, it went almost like just to my knee, like just past my knees, maybe halfway down my calf. And like I remember thinking at the time, like, when am I ever going to use this? And I didn't wear it until I was in high school. And the jacket, it's been with me ever since. It's one of my favorite Christmas presents.
That's awesome. That's
awesome.
pretty sick jacket to have that last that long and still be like.
Also, you
fit.
said you got it when you were 13.
Yeah.
That means it's 18 years old. It's an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, it's been an adult for a while, Sarah.
I don't want to know.
Gotta make those tough choices.
let's-
That tough road.
Let's move
Of leather
down
jackets.
to our most well traveled and less traveled members.
I forgot what the question was. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, best
I'm not
Christmas
sure who
gift,
you're talking
most useful one.
Oh. I think I still stand by what I was saying. The PS2. I cannot think of a useful gift that I've held on to. Every gift that I have had and held on to has been like that stuffed animal, like pictures.
Saniac, just saying.
Okay, actually, hold on. I do have a useful gift.
He's like, I don't have sentimental. I don't keep gifts. Wait, there's this really fuzzy toy.
He's so
Wait, there's more. Why don't we move down to Grease Goblin while he's
I actually ran to grab the 2 that I still have.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're pretty mundane. I'll be honest.
Okay.
But one is a hammer.
That's a
That's a
sick
good
gift.
gift.
It is.
Honestly, yeah.
I got it 2 years ago.
Nice.
It's a great
And I
gift.
Was
Still
that a
have it.
hint?
Of what?
I don't know, but whoever gave it to you, it sounds like a hint.
To get hammered, to hammer.
Well,
things.
for our wedding, we
Oh.
got like 7 sets of knives, so I'm hoping that wasn't a hint. So.
Oh, speaking of
That's
knives.
amazing. Thank you for the follow, DSMP fan. 4321.
Welcome. To
Nice.
the-
Oh.
You got
Oh, you
knives?
just
That's
made
pretty
me
sick.
remember
Yeah.
my second favorite gift. Let me go
That's
get
pretty
it. No,
Nice.
You've
it's
seen
not
this
right
one
here.
in person. This is
We're
my
all having
pizza
fun.
cutting knife.
That's your. Oh yeah, that is your pizza cutting.
Yeah.
That
My
thing
brother
is
once gave me a knife
sexy.
engraved with for my favorite sister. That made me happy.
Now I went and found my most useful-ish gift. I guess I had asked some time ago. It's a leather bag, and it's just a casual leather bag, and it's a little impersonal in the sense that usually it carries. I'm a big marijuana smoker, and it carries all my cannabis. It perfectly carries my personal grinder, my lighter, and my personal piece that I use for smoking, and it's all pretty handy dandy. And this wonderful little thing, you can't really tell because it's kind of like the light, but it's like really dark gray, and this thing is pretty amazing. The main reason I liked it for the color was that it actually, if you didn't really recognize it in a certain light, could look like a rock.
It totally does.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
this thing has
That
been
is a
probably
nice
the
bag.
most useful thing for me as somebody who, before cannabis was legal, was able to carry a lot of my stuff around without taking it onto work premises, and still be able to smoke after work and still not be without breaking any regulations or anything like this. So this wonderful handy dandy thing, I would take to work. I would leave it outside, and then I would come back and get it, and no one would find this thing. And I've forgotten about this before and left it for days, and found it still there.
It would be
Wow.
hilarious if a child thought it was a rock.
You're the guy who, like, one time I was on a bus and I put my hand down on the seat that I'm sitting beside, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And I found a pipe and a nice bag of weed. And I'm
me.
like,
That's me.
thank you!
That's me. You're right. That is absolutely me.
And I'm just like, I walked home, we got to my roommate's like, where'd you get that? Did you buy a pipe of weed? I'm like, no!
Yeah.
The fates have given it to me!
Yep. That has happened to me once before, but I've also experienced the same thing where I've lost it and I've also found weed and shit too.
No.
So, but you also got to be a little careful about the weed you smoke that you find. So keep that in
True.
mind.
Yeah.
I've seen I had a really bad experience with that once where I was at the end of my work was like a club kind of thing, and these guys heard like some cops were around and they threw their joints on the ground, and one of the other cooks heard about it, picked up all their joints and just huddled off. And then later he came and told me and just gave me a joint, and I didn't really think about it. And I smoked this joint. It was the awfulest, shittiest like tasting joint, and just I don't know if this guy had tobacco or something else mixed in it. It was just not a good time. And I was like, why did I even try to think
True
this was gonna work out?
meaning of Christmas, folks. Don't smoke bad joints.
Don't smoke bad joints. It's like Halloween. Don't
I
smoke
thought
bad
it was
joints.
only smoke.
That's the lesson of the day, I guess.
Well, that's true. Only smoke joints, but don't smoke bad joints.
Don't
No,
smoke bad
only
joints.
smoke bad joints.
That
Smoke only the
explains
good
Then you can
so
appreciate the good weed.
much.
No.
He's
Then you
villain,
can
he's trying to
appreciate
confuse
the
you.
real weed.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not really so sure about that.
Let's
Only way it works.
let's move to our final host. Most memorable gift, I guess, or one that's most useful to you, Sir Jeremy.
Gift.
Yeah.
We've been over this.
Oh,
We've been over
yeah.
this.
Here comes the hard story.
My family doesn't celebrate Christmas, you
That's
silly bastard.
Right.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So
Man,
you
talk
say
about
so,
feeling,
so your
talk about feeling
Christmases were
excluded
like
from this entire topic.
your Christmases were like me.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, I feel more like you do.
Oh, that's awesome.
I forgot about that, yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
you
it's like-
You,
do
that
so
was
many
just a
episodes.
family belief, though. It wasn't because you were Jehovah's.
We're not Jehovah's. Silly
We're,
bastard.
we're not homeless.
I knew a family that was. They didn't like to be fathered very often. It was really weird.
Fathered?
Fathered.
Oh, bothered.
Hmm.
Well, no,
It's funny, right? The religion that goes and knocks on everybody's fucking door doesn't like to be bothered during Christmas.
Right?
Or Halloween. They
Or
don't like
anytime.
being,
This is our message to all that are watching. Go knock on a Jehovah's Witness's door.
Oh my
Sorry,
god.
Somehow they're
Oh my
I
god.
met a more bitter dad
Go-
than
go
the
knock
one
on
that
their
actually
door.
was Jehovah's.
Ask
This
them
guy
if they
was
accept
so
your
upset
Lord
every
and
time I
Savior.
came to see my
Satan.
friend. He was
Say, I come on behalf of the Church of Satan to try and set you free.
I'm not saying there's a correlation,
And
but I've
while
never
holding
met a
your
better
copy of the
dad than the Jehovah's
Necronomicon.
dad I met.
That's the way to do it for sure.
I had
the
one
only way
friend
to, yeah.
his parents were Jehovah's, and when I would go to see this kid, I had never seen a more disgruntled and upset man that I had just come to see my friend. Like, he was so unhappy that I was there. Just like, what do you want? Oh, you want to see them? I guess I'll be right back. Like, man,
Oh,
I didn't know I
because
was
your
wasting
soul
your
is
time.
damned. What is some
Yeah.
damned, filthy soul doing with his pure children?
I am not gonna put that
Dude,
that out there, but
There's like I
it
saw
was
this
it was
video
it was a rough
recently.
time.
There's like these Jehovah's Witness kid-friendly cartoons that are so brutal. There's like they're like 5-minute vignettes, and I saw one where it's like the kid comes home with his little magic hero toy, and the mother in the cartoon is like, "Now, do you think Jehovah would be happy with you playing with this toy? But now, who likes magic?" And the little kid goes, "Satan." Now, do you want you're not making me sad. Who are you making sad, Billy? And Billy goes, "Jehovah." Yes. Do you
Sounds
think
like so
Jehovah?
many conversations
Oh my
I've
god,
had
it's so fucked.
That's rough.
Oh,
I-
and like
I-
this
I-
kid,
I
and like it's
heard
an
so many
animated
conversations
cartoon,
like that.
and you can feel for this child. Like, I bet you this is what they actually go through.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They absolutely do.
YouTube.
You know what? That's the point where like I step in as an adult, and then they look at me and like don't tell me how to raise my child, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to, but I am going to call child services, and they can. And then all of a sudden they give you that look, like it's the best look, like a fish out of water.
Child services wouldn't be able to do anything about that.
I have seen Jehovah's Witness. I mean, there's a lot of. Before I say
I mean,
this,
if
I'm gonna do
anything,
research.
they could just make it a pain in
But
the ass.
I have
that's all.
heard that a lot of Jehovah's Witness houses are subject to child services raids. I'm going to just research this
Good.
first before I state it as fact. I'm going to do my
State
research.
it as fact and not know.
Smart.
Definitely don't state
We're
things as fact. I'm
villains,
just gonna
but
put
we
that
are
one out there.
educated villains.
We are
Peter.
educated
Are we?
villains. At least
Okay,
we try
some
to
of
be.
us
Where?
are.
Any good James Bond villain is educated.
It's true.
Exactly. We are fact-checking villains. We are
That's
the
good.
kind of villains
We
who
do-
tell
we do
truth
we do
in
check-
Oh, as
very
long
we
as we
check
not
fact,
facts.
nice.
fact check, that's fine.
We do check our facts.
Sometimes.
We try to.
We definitely
Yeah.
try.
Some of us don't
We
know how
tried
to
to.
read.
Some of us don't know how to read. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Wonder who that could be.
I
not-
wonder.
We're not about like singling people out.
Are you pointing at me?
Sorry. Okay, this is
No.
from
I'm
March
pointing at the right
22nd,
side.
2019.
You're on a different
From my view, you're pointing at me.
This is the March 22nd, 2019. This article is
Big
from the
one.
accredited paper The Atlantic. I am posting it in chat now. And what it talks about is the mass and
Batman.
uncaptured sexual abuse and abuse of children that is rampant throughout the Jehovah's Witness community. Sexual
Sad.
and regular abuse. That's how
That's
bad.
really sad.
That's how bad that is.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out
That-
there. I was
that's
not
heartbreaking
overstepping
here.
what I was saying.
Yeah.
Sexual and real abuse is rampant in the Jehovah's Witness community. And after seeing those little like vignette, like a little couple of those little episodes, I understand why.
I
Like,
agree. There's a pattern of a lot of religious points where they get to certain powers, and that abuse tends to happen. We've seen it in
mean-
other religions too,
I mean,
not
he's
just
True.
that one.
he might be watching right now, and I
reason to treat other people horribly all the time, and it
Exactly.
is awful.
one of our
And
one of the guys we've had on the show and constant viewer, he's Jehovah's Witness, and he has some horror stories that I have heard firsthand from him.
I can imagine.
I'm almost saying it because I almost expect him to pop up in the chat and be like, "Hey, what's up?"
That's why,
'Cause,
like, it's tough to really.
because imagine being
There's-
Christmas. Like we're talking about Christmas, right? Imagine just
Yeah.
like me and Jeremy understand because we just didn't celebrate the holiday, but like even like when we started not celebrating it as teens, like we still had a cake, we still had a dinner, like just a family thing that didn't mean anything.
It's completely forbidden to celebrate it at all.
Exactly.
It's just a day, right?
Like, cause Jeremy, fill me in on this, cause you've told me you didn't celebrate, but like, you go to a did you go to a Christmas parties? Like, were you allowed to celebrate if you wanted to? I think you said yeah.
Yeah?
Exactly,
Question
right?
mark?
Like,
Not everyone's given that option.
the way you always described your upbringing is that you get the choice, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah.
if you wanted to do this and your mom would support you, right?
And a lot
So,
of times,
which is
like,
great.
religion is like tells you it's God's choice.
But can
in a sense.
imagine doing that. Imagine coming to your mom, Jeremy, and instead she looks at you and says, "Do you think Jehovah will approve of that? Do
You think your higher power
you're
would-
making
would-
Jehovah
you think you're doing
sad
good choices?
because he's losing you to Satan?" Imagine your mom saying that to you as a 6-year-old kid.
Yeah.
No, me hearing that being like the persuasion I am, I don't even know what to call it. That sounds offensive and abusive to me. That's using your religion to be
yeah.
abusive.
That's absolutely what it is.
That's exactly what it
That's
is.
pure
To, like,
pressure.
browbeat. That's browbeating.
Yeah.
And that's
So-
what
And
I've never thought about this way before, but to me, like, saying that seems normal. If I'm thinking through it now, I see it's not. But it seems like the way you're saying things right now, John, like that's always been a part of life. Not necessarily that my parents were saying it like that to me, but that just seems something very much that's just average.
did I just blow your mind?
that's not
Did
something,
Did I just blow your mind
That's-
with how much
that's not something I
people are being
experienced,
abused as children and we just look past it as adults?
Yeah.
Using
Yeah.
religion as an excuse. Yeah, using
I
a lot of
was
things
I
as
was never
excuses.
taught that my choices were bad because someone else disproved. I was taught that the only reason my decisions might be bad is because they hurt someone, or that maybe my parents think I'm gonna get hurt because of it.
Which is a good way to stem a learning, especially when your kid does something that's considered wrong. It's a great way
Yeah.
to come at it. But you're gonna.
I
like,
never
this
had
is this
a
is the
religious
one
side of
reason
that.
why I've always been an advocate. I've never said this on the show, but I will say it out loud on the show. I've always been an advocate. The only time a child can have a choice, or the only time a child should be introduced to religion, like actually what religion is,
I think is when they ask about
is
it.
when they ask about it. Exactly. So I asked about being Jewish at 12, and then my dad told me about it, and eventually I became 13. I was able to have my bar mitzvah, and then and to have your bar mitzvah in Judaism, it's not like Christianity where like the next week you're baptized and it's done.
It's a
It
big
takes
deal.
a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they make you
I
learn
didn't
the
know
language.
that it takes a year, but that's a big deal.
No,
yeah, I knew it was huge.
they make you learn the language. You actually learn Torah. You have to go spend time with the rabbi. You have to go
Yeah.
spend time with other kids your age. Like they want you part of the community first, and then when you have your bar mitzvah, it's like a celebration of you fully integrating in the community, right?
Yeah, being a member of.
And
of
so
Wait,
and
full
this
on it.
and
space,
that's why,
yeah.
like, even though I hold my own beliefs true to me, I can go to my rabbi anytime and I can talk to him about different things, and he never admonishes what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
It's because of how the religion was presented to me, and I
That's
mean
great.
it helped that.
I think that's huge because I think a lot of like Christian stuff. That's how it was supposed to be kind of originally. How confession was originally introduced, right? Is
Mhm.
you'd have your pastor, and your pastor is someone you could always talk to, and the pastor would hear, he would confidently learn about what people would confess about, right? And then through that he would find information of how to guide his next sermon. Maybe he's heard from the community that this person's having an issue with this, or this person's having an issue with this, so maybe this today we'll talk about this, and they'll see if it helps them, and if it doesn't, and we'll hear on the next confession, and maybe we'll talk about something else, and that helps guide the sermon each day of what they should talk about, because they've heard from their community that I've committed adultery, or I'm drinking too much, or things like that. So now we talk about adultery, now we talk about sobriety and control, things like this, right?
No, I agree. I really do. It's just you have this push for, especially in some things like the Catholic religion, right? Every unbaptized soul is a soul that can go to hell.
Yeah. You also can lose your salvation in Catholicism if you don't go to confession. If you don't confess every single sin, you can lose your salvation.
Lose your salvation. See, it's stuff like that that's just fucking ridiculous. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
For
like,
me, and I think in a personal sense, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine.
I think I'm not really somebody that has a religious aspect or an outlook. I take a very kind of spiritual outlook. I find as long as I try to live for not the promise of what comes after life. I try to live for the moment of life, what we're doing right now, being on a talk show, talking to people, and doing, helping people with whatever we're talking about. Maybe people are learning from the things that we talk about. I don't know. I'm surprised that we've gotten as far as we have, and I love our viewers for being here for every step of the way.
Yeah, seriously.
But
thanks. Shout out to all our
Yeah.
viewers.
This is what I'm
And our
living
Patreon.
for.
Our one
And our
Patreon.
Patreon.
Our one
For the wheel.
Patreon.
We
Shout
love
out
you,
to our one
Armenian. You're the
Patreon.
best.
Yes, for the wheel.
I live for this. I don't live for the promise of more or something else.
And that's probably what makes you such a great person to be around, because
Wow.
I know, like, you guys know that I know so many Christians who are terrible people.
Careful.
I know so
Yeah.
many Christians who just, they don't care about other people around them at all. And then I see people like you guys
Isn't that
who
like the core of the
are
fucking
not.
religion?
And I'm like,
I thought the
they're
core of
wonderful.
the religion was to be accepting or something stupid.
There's been many branches. And that's what happens with an ideology. It starts off with one idea, and then it splits into everyone else's ideas, right? And it becomes
anyone out
many
there
branches
who's
of a tree.
like a diehard Christian. I'm not trying to be like mean. I'm just being glib. So please, I mean,
I feel like our viewers at this point are used to
I'm just
that.
being glib.
You usually bring that
I just don't want to all of a sudden open my Twitter one day and see like, oh, this guy hates Christians. Burn him.
It's probably going to happen because we put out that it's going to happen.
Anybody who's listening only just really missed out on seeing his face there.
Yeah,
you should seriously go find the episode and watch just that.
Maybe I'll screenshot it later and we'll turn it into a shirt.
Burn the Jew! It's Christmas!
Burn the villains! Yeah. That'll be our new... We'll be the witches at the stake.
No, thank you.
Just on a picture, on a t-shirt, Sarah.
Oh, okay,
Just a t-shirt with me strapped to a pole.
Wow.
Saying, I guess you guys burned me.
You screaming burn me.
Make it look like a Christmas tree.
What's happening,
you know what, John? It would get a lot of views.
Right? It would. I could see that. I would be down.
The last burning of the Jew.
Him screaming about it, and the rest of us just looking concerned as like, did this is what we signed up for? Yep.
Oh, it makes me wish
no.
that Christmas there was something sacrificed every year, like the old pagan traditions.
I was
It's
gonna
like,
say,
alright,
you could, if you want to go do the goat thing.
alright, Sally, it's your turn to sacrifice the baby goat. Make sure you get the blood under the tree.
I don't
It's gonna be a great harvest.
see. I don't understand the context of it. But the only way that I could ever really be like that makes sense is if like they're planning to make food. You kill a because baby animals are considered the most tender, especially in a lamb and a goat.
I love tortured
But
baby cow.
That like what the fuck? That still is a what the fuck. I don't understand like how that came
You
to be a
don't have
thing.
to
A
understand.
bunch of French people thought, I want to eat that young meat.
I'll just say people are stupid because people have decided to eat the color poisonous things for a long time, and it's
Hey,
some people have lived, a lot of people have died because of it.
and you
Yeah.
know what? I thank them for dying, because now I know what part of that puffer fish I can eat.
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
Go for
Look,
it.
I think I'm gonna avoid the pufferfish
Maybe
because
leave us
it is
a
an issue.
password before you go for it.
Yeah, that way.
I feel like you've
browsing
already been
history and
that
all that.
person who's grabbed the poisonous thing once or twice. Just just because why not grab the curious shiny thing? Somebody says it's dumb, but I know better than them.
I seen Indiana Jones. As long as you put a
I've seen
bag of
Indiana
sand
Jones.
down, you're good.
Exactly. Just gotta put a glove on it. That's all. It'll be fine. Or you gotta switch it out with another paperweight so you don't trigger the trap.
Oh man. All right, we're winding up close to the end of the show. Let's let's turn the tables. The most obvious
We tabled the turns.
and the most obvious and except I want it to be creative. I want you all to be fucking creative on this one.
Oh boy.
Hey,
You
cat.
think we do that?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say.
There it is. The cat exists.
The catch of
Okay.
creativity
Does
has
it?
come.
I
It
want.
only exists.
Okay,
if we
so
are
I want
observing
your
it.
worst Christmas gift, but I don't want like just like, oh, it was useless. I want like the worst Christmas gift. Like something you like almost looked at the person and almost said like, what the hell were you thinking?
Definitely had those, but I feel like I
Oh,
feel like I've rejected that memory and pushed it out really as quickly
you
as
better
as
drudge it
happened.
up. I'm gonna give you a shovel, and you better shovel up that memory and dig it up and revive it like Frankenstein, like Dr. Frankenstein's monster. You bastard. We're gonna start. So Jeremy, worst Christmas gift was obviously nothing. So, did you celebrate Hanukkah by chance?
Worst gift was obviously nothing.
Obviously nothing.
I mean,
Wow.
Maybe he still got a really
Wow.
terrible gift at some point.
Wow.
And you know, like the rougher part of
That's
that
not
too is
what
like
I hear from the Christmas topic, but
my
you
best
obviously
friend
didn't get
growing
anything.
up used to get his like half of his family was rich as fuck, so he'd always have like all this shit. I'm like, oh yeah, I see. Yeah, you had a good Christmas then, really. Yeah.
what did you get, Jeremy? I got a rock I found in the yard.
No, sorry. How's the Charlie Brown episode? I go from
So
Cole.
you got to watch Charlie Brown, yeah, and the Great Christmas.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This
Charlie
time.
Brown is real. Oh, that's so good.
We actually laughed about how we did a Christmas once too. We had like the Charlie Brownest tree of all the trees. It was yeah, like six branches to the thing. Like,
Just purposely tried to get the shittiest looking
Wow.
tree.
oh, so good. Actually, though, like we had it was like a mock Christmas, and we meant that like literally.
That's amazing.
Nice.
That's actually amazing.
So yeah, no, we have our fun. We do stuff.
I had.
I mean,
sounds
my,
like
my grandma still gets me shit, right? But
That sounds like fun.
Nice.
An
that's
anti-Christmas Christmas.
it's grandma stuff. It's like socks or.
I love the
pajamas.
idea of celebrating an anti.
So I always did get something, right?
I love socks. Socks. I
Right?
always need more of them.
Pajamas are the shit too.
Right?
Socks are always the best thing you can
Yeah.
do.
Never wear two of the same socks.
Unless you have like a preference of socks, and then you get the wrong socks, and then you're like, why did I get these socks?
See, as
Yeah,
a Jew,
just no ankle socks.
as a
There's
Jew,
never ankle socks.
all you get
Right.
is gelt. Every year, you get
I don't
gelt.
know what that is.
Chocolate
Like every
coins.
holiday too, right?
Oh, those. Yeah, I got those too.
Every
one- Okay, so I want to point that out too on like because I
every
got
single Hanukkah.
in my stockings I'd get chocolate coins. The one I can't really think of a bad gift, but the one worst and useless and always consistently useless gift that I always get every single year is fucking chapstick.
You not like moisturized lips?
I don't use it,
Stop licking your
Oh,
lips.
so I don't need it.
Stop licking your lips.
My lips are
You're
chapped.
so chapped right now.
not
They're so
at all.
chapped. Look how chapped they
It
are. Chat,
boggles.
chat,
It boggles.
people in the chat, tell
just
them
zooming
Sadie
in on
how
his
chapped
face.
his
Yeah,
lips are.
they're so chapped.
Lips are
Oh,
chapped because
come
I'm
on,
chapped
Chad.
about chapped
Chad, I
lips.
need you to tell him. I need you to
Chapped
convince
about
him.
chapped lips. That's how chapped my lips are right
They
now.
are so chapped.
They
I was
really
gonna
are.
say the worst gift I actually get is self-help books. I have a whole library of them I've never read. Because yeah, what a great way to tell your son or your brother. Oh yeah, I think you're not going in the right direction. We bought you this book.
Self-help.
It's meant to help you
From your
write. We
parents and
bought
your
you this book.
sisters.
It's meant to give you a kick in the pants so you can get your life together.
That's like your family's
Thanks,
concern.
guys.
That does
That's a
sound
great
like
ego boost.
I feel like that's like we're not trying to have an intervention, so here's a book about having an intervention.
We don't want to actually intervene in your life, so here's a book you can read and hopefully figure it out for your fucking self.
Exactly. Exactly, right? Like, no, we don't want to go that
I
far.
shouldn't be laughing because I've gotten them for the last 5 years, but it's so fucking true.
That's pretty funny.
every year a different one.
Oh,
I
wow.
can
You
bring
did
them
improve
all
on
out.
this.
Of course.
Fucking,
Of
I
course.
can read them
So
right
funny.
now.
That's amazing.
so funny.
That's
How to-
amazing.
How to get off your ass and write. Writing for the lazy man. Or putting
I
your
know
life
what you like
together
to
in
do.
a new way. Like, dude, I've never seen. Like every time I got one, it's like thanks.
Like, look at them like a weird. Do you want me to read this?
The worst is like I think 2 years ago, not last year, but 2 years ago, I tried to leave the 2 self-help books that I got for Christmas at my parents' house. I'm leaving, and all of a sudden my parents, my sister's like, "Oh my god, you almost forgot your books! Here you go!" Like, yeah, almost forgot these. Shit.
Yep.
Definitely
Man, what would
gonna
we do
start
if
reading them
we
right
didn't bring
away.
them here? Yeah. Man, I think actually the stupidest, like, in my mind, or the worst kind of like gift I got a car seat, and I didn't have a car. Like,
Why don't
what
you
am I
just go
supposed to
get
do
a
with
car?
this?
Kyle?
I was so confused. It's like, I don't know what to do with this.
Oh, it's get the fuck out of our house.
Are you a child? Like,
Get a car and get out.
Like, and I had a car before that too.
You know what's even better is you get the car seat and you're like, oh my god, a car seat. You look at your parents. Did you get me a car? No.
No,
We
it
got
wasn't even
your
like a seat.
drivers. We got your
It was a
driver's
cover. It was like a seat cover for a
okay.
like.
Now I understand.
But I had a car like probably 6 months before that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they got it again.
But
I
then
thought
it's
you
like
didn't have a car at all. I was assuming you just got it one day.
I didn't have the car at all at that time, and it was been talked about like that I don't have the car anymore. I had to get rid of it. For reasons and things. I had sold it to somebody, and my parents had helped me sell it, so they knew I didn't have the car
Do you still
anymore.
have the car seat?
Maybe it was
Still
just
the car.
stabbing the ribs.
Yeah, you know what I did with the car
That's
seat?
so
I put it on my shitty like old computer chair, because what the fuck else was I gonna do with it? I put it on my chair. I had a seat cover, so I put it on my seat.
That's fucking hilarious.
I literally didn't know what else to do with
Oh,
it.
sorry. When you said that, I first imagined you like 14-year-old insaniac, doesn't even have his learners. And like, here's a car seat. Oh my god, you bought me a car? No, here's the
This is
learner's
the seat.
manual.
No. That one was more. I had wanted to do that one. My
I
dad
want to
did
do
it
that
already
now.
first.
Well, my kids, as they grow up, I'm gonna play horrible practical
Wow,
jokes for
you're just-
Christmas. I'm gonna
Wow,
be the
here I
best
thought-
dad.
I thought you were gonna be a good dad. Now you sound.
I
like
am
you're
going to
awful.
be. I'm going to be the best.
Now you
dad.
sound
Are you
awful.
kidding me? You'd be
Awful
great.
dad.
No, because here's
It's just
here's,
a prank. As you
your
said, your
gift.
daughter's.
You get a car seat cover for my new car, Dad. No, for the hard work you're about to put in to get your new car.
It's gonna be great.
I know.
Your kids are gonna be so like sarcastic to you all the
It's
time.
gonna be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Imagine sitting down at dinner table with me and my kids, and you don't know if any of us are being serious because the sarcasm is just like through the
I think
roof.
he would just assume that none of you are being serious.
Yeah.
I would be like, I can't believe you guys can't have a normal conversation.
What are you talking about? I would have, see, that's how I'd piss off my kids, is I would have a normal conversation and take everything they're saying as face value. So if they were sarcastic, I would just take it as face value, and then they'd be like, God damn it, Dad. God damn it.
That's what I mean. If someone out from the outside looking in, I'd be like, I can't believe you guys can't have a normal conversation.
I'll be a living dad joke, and I will enjoy every minute.
And your kids will hate it.
That.
So much.
Thinking about it, I figured out what my worst Christmas gift was.
Wow.
that dad joke?
Only
Maniac
took-
story.
Hey, that's awesome. You're welcome. I'm happy I inspired you.
When I was 16, I didn't have a car, didn't have my
Sharing
license
my
or anything.
suffering.
I got a car, like a, what's the word? Like a steering wheel cover.
Man, just like me.
Random gift.
Okay.
Yeah, a heated steering wheel cover.
Okay.
That's all it was.
They
I
didn't have a
haven't.
car.
When I first got my car, I put it on the car. But
There
before
we
that,
go.
I had no use for it. It just sat in the
Your
corner.
parents sound like my dream.
No.
It sounds like they
That was
trolled you your
my
entire
uncle who isn't in the
existence.
family anymore.
Damn.
I feel like that was honestly unintentional,
I
based on
feel-
the way that Caden's like gone about things.
I just feel like his family trolls Caden, and he's just become used to it.
I feel like that it would look like that to the untrained eye, but it was a series.
Yes.
It would be
clearly-
a series. It would be a series of unfortunate accidents all the
Hmm,
time.
Yes. Taking a closer look, I fully see.
Since when are
And
you
see,
an
you're
expert
holding.
in my
Oh,
history?
see, you're holding your monocle into not into Wumbo settings, so you're not seeing clearly enough.
No, it's in Dumbo settings.
Any final words? Anyone? Final thing.
Be sure to switch
Well,
it
you
to
didn't
Wumbo
ask me.
Kids. That is the final.
Yeah,
Combo.
You didn't ask me about my worst gift. So
Oh,
my
I'm
family's
sorry.
my family's generally pretty good at gifts. Most of the gifts I've gotten have been great. The only bad one was kind of that I can think of was actually kind of sad because as my grandma was getting dementia, she just kind of was losing her mind and she was a
Yeah.
hoarder, and
Dimensions are
one year she gave me and my brother both just like a handful of things from her hoard. So it was just like random crap that had been lying around her house. It was kind of like, oh,
Okay.
That is
Dragon Treasure.
that is so dark.
Dragon treasure.
yeah.
I want.
It's Dragon's treasure. Man. Hoard that treasure, Sarah, because clearly it's full.
On that note, I am sorry, but nothing better to do.
Talk about Buster.
I am C4. What beside me is the burnt remains of Sarah Vike. Insaniac, the Grease Goblin,
The Great Gosling.
Sir Jeremy.
I
We
also
are
do
the
want
villains of the
to. While
Villains
he's having
Talk
this weird
Show.
breakdown, I do want to talk about
Dark
Buzzsprout.
humor is
Go check out
exact-
Buzzsprout and start out your own podcast there, because we started with them. It's a wonderful setup.
Thank you
Been
to
great.
our only Patreon for the wheel. If you want to join us on Patreon, just go to the Patreon/MinionUp, or you can support us by following us here, just like DSMP fan 4321 did today on Twitch. We're on YouTube. Just look up the Villains Talk Show. You'll find us
DSMP.
anywhere you get
Yes,
podcasts.
Every one of you. You're
Boom.
welcome. We hope you have a wonderful holidays, however you go about